So when you make the conscious decision to sew your own wardrobe, inevitably you will come across a pattern that is so beautiful, so dreamy, so magical that you can't unsee it, unknow about it, or unwant it. And equally, inevitably, you're going to come across a fabric that is just as dreamy and magical and that you also need to acquire immediately. And sometimes you're turning 34 and you want to keep it low key, but you also want to do something special just for yourself to celebrate your birthday and finally sew the dress of your dreams that you've been fantasizing about for weeks. Such is the story of our project today. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kaylee, and if you're new around here, I share all about how to live an intentional and purpose-driven life that is cozy, creative, and magical. And today I'm going to be doing that by showing you my first me-made garment of 2024. And let me just say, if you are somebody who is interested in making your own wardrobe, thrifting your own wardrobe, or just talking about slow and sustainable fashion in general, well, don't be shy, hit that subscribe button, and you can see even more videos like this one. And now, let's get into it. Okay, so my camera battery actually died last night while I was cutting out the fabric, but I was able to cut out all of my fabric pieces just barely. I like eked this pattern out of my fabric. And now I have my sewing machine all set up. I have my instruction booklet pulled up on my laptop and I am ready to get sewing. I don't know how much time I'm gonna be able to squeeze in down here. But yeah, it's mostly because I'm sewing in my non-aesthetic basement, which is freezing right now. I have my little space heater going next to me. I'm tempted to turn on a movie, but considering I've never made this pattern before, I think I'm gonna stick to an audiobook. That way I can like keep my instructions pulled up and be able to reference those as much as needed. And I'm just gonna plug along, starting with the sleeves. Okay, so I'm just gonna share where I'm at right now. So I have assembled all of my bodice and sleeve pieces. I just finished gathering the center front and the center back pieces. What I really like about this pattern is that she includes measurements for how gathered the front should be, how gathered the back should be, so that was actually very helpful. At this point in the pattern, I am supposed to set this aside and get started on the skirt. But for now, I'm actually feeling pretty wiped, so I think I'm gonna stop here, call it a day, and I will get started on the skirt pieces first thing tomorrow. So I'll see you then.
I am all kinds of bundled up because it is cold as hell out here. I just wanted to take a minute to address, because I get a lot of people who reach out to me and ask, like, how do I get so many things done? More specifically, how do I get things done with my kids around? The honest answer is I often don't. And the second part to that is that if I do get anything done, it's because I have to be very, very intentional with how I spend my time, which is a lot easier said than done. This morning, I got up probably around 6 a.m. before the family, before the kids, so that I could have some time to myself. And I really debated when I got down to the sewing spacement whether or not I should film what I was working on and take you guys along with me. And I made the decision not to, because for me to film what I'm doing, it requires a lot of time to set up the camera and change the angles and things like that. And for me, my intention with waking up early, I should say, is to spend the first hour of my day creating before I consume anything. That's something that I've found has been really effective in boosting my mental health. It's really helped to fill my cup and just is so beneficial to me overall. So if I were to take you guys along with me, that's time that I take away from my creative process. And for me, it's more important at this point in my life to protect that. As much as I really love and subscribe to and follow creators who show you how to make, a dress step by step, and their videos are very beautiful and detailed. I love those channels. I will continue to watch and follow those channels. That's not the season of life that I'm in right now. And that's okay. I think that's something that really bothered me for a long time, was that I wanted to have a whole afternoon to create or sew or just indulge in whatever project was making me really happy. And it would cause a lot of resentment and a lot of negativity in my life. So now what my main focus is on is just learning to work with my circumstances, and most importantly, accept my circumstances. This kind of radical acceptance of all right, some days I'm not gonna get to touch a project. Some days I'm gonna have to do it with a lot of distractions. I'm gonna have to do it with a lot of interruptions. And something that's gonna take someone else maybe only a few hours to make is gonna take me a few days. But if you're in one of those seasons, the biggest thing that I found to help me is just taking a look at what are all the demands on my time right now? What are the demands that are important to me versus the ones that I really don't want to be dedicating time to? All that is to say, that's kind of why I'm sharing content like this, so that hopefully you can relate to it if you're in a busy season. But also I hope it inspires you to be able to make the most of your time and be really protective and intentional with the creative time that you have. And yeah, I know it's really easy to get down on yourself if you don't have, like I said, all that space and time and energy that it seems like everybody else has, and not you. That's not always the case. Some of us are out here just doing the best we can with what we have, and that's all you can do, and that's perfectly okay. So I'm starting to lose feeling in my fingies here. So I'm going to wrap up my walk and head home, and hopefully I'll see you in the sewing spacement again this afternoon, and if not, I'll see you tomorrow. Hello. So I have just enough time to hopefully complete 1 or 2 steps of the sewing pattern, but let me show you what I got done this morning. I'm just gonna hold it up because it's a maxi dress, so it's easier. And this is exactly how I'm gonna wear it too. What I got done is I was able to assemble the entire skirt portion, and then I was able to attach the first bodice piece to the skirt. So this right here is the center. So I'm gonna try to attach the second bodice piece, and then I don't know what part is after that, maybe attaching the zipper, but I'm gonna try to get that done now while the girls are giving me a second down here. Here's where I'm at
currently. First of all, we're gonna ignore the crazy ass undershirt bra situation I've got going on right here. Obviously this is not what I would wear with the dress, but I haven't pressed it yet, but I inserted the back zipper. I didn't zip it up all the way because I have a lot of loose threads from the gathering up here and I didn't want it to get caught. But invisible zipper is in the back. Can't see it, but the back of the dress is sewn. I feel like a princess, especially with these sleeves. They're not gonna stay like this. Tomorrow we're going to be inserting, I believe it's elastic for the balloon sleeve, but this is very Lady Guinevere, I feel. So tomorrow is just finishing touches for the dress. So obviously the elastic for the sleeves, the bias binding that goes around here. What else is there? Hemming the dress. I think that's about it, and adding the bow on the front. So I'm actually feeling really, really good about the progress that I made today. I did not think I was gonna get this as far as I did. I hope I can wrap this up in my morning creativity time. If not, I'll be able to do at least like quite a bit of it. I need to go make my kids some dinner. I will see you tomorrow. Hiya. During my creativity time this morning, I both made and attached the bias binding at the neckline, and I made my little bow tie piece. So now I'm going to remove my gathering stitches, and then all that's left is the elastic at the sleeves and hemming it, and she's done. I am beyond thrilled with how this dress came out, and despite the fact that it was a little more time consuming, I think that just had to do with the volume of fabric with like these big old sleeves, the gathers all around the neckline. The hem alone took a little while to sew. It wasn't that intense of a project. I was surprised by how easy it was to put it together. I genuinely feel like a princess wearing this dress. The only thing I think I might change in the future is maybe this neckline. For reference, I already kind of lifted it about 2 inches. I don't know if it truly is like va-va-voom or if it's just the fact that it's the middle of winter and I haven't worn anything more revealing than a sweatshirt in months. I think that's partly on me because this is definitely a lighter weight fabric. This is more of like a late spring summer kind of dress, and I am notoriously never sewing garments in the correct season. I don't know why that is. I'll probably be sewing winter clothing in the middle of summer. I don't know. Do you do this too, or are you normal? As for the cost breakdown of this dress, excuse me, I have my notes right here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at, but the pattern was $23 US. The fabric was about $20 per yard. However, I was kindly gifted this fabric from Minerva as one of their brand ambassadors in exchange for a blog post on their site. I highly recommend this fabric. It does feel amazing and was surprisingly easy to sew with. The invisible zipper I used was on sale, but I got it for about $3. The elastic that I used was $4.92, and I used a about a yard, like a little less than a yard for both of the sleeves. So just in materials alone, it cost me $108.39 to make this dress. Now, let's talk about the cost of labor, because that is something that I think as creators, we don't value enough of. Yes, we may be saving money on materials, you know, versus buying a designer dress or something like that in store, a custom garment. Remember, this is something that literally nobody else owns but me. But just because you're getting it at a more affordable price than if you were to purchase a designer or custom made garment, it still costs you your time and effort and energy and expertise to make these pieces. So if I were to include the total time it took me to make this garment and multiply that by the average cost of living for my area for somebody with 2 kids, that would bring my labor to $288, bringing the grand total for this dress to $396.39. But honestly, to me, this dress is priceless. It is everything I want. It is the full princess, Lady Guinevere, fairy garden, witchy vibes that I want in a garment. I feel truly beautiful wearing it. I cannot wait for the weather to warm up so that I can wear it more, but I will absolutely be wearing this to our little diner spot for dinner with my husband and kids on my birthday. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if everything works out, this video should be posting on my actual birthday. So that's kind of fun. This to me will always be a piece about celebrating me and my body and my creativity and my time, and it just, yay. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this sewing journey as I work towards a handmade wardrobe. If you want to see what other pieces I add to my me-made wardrobe, again, hit that subscribe button so that you can follow along with my journey. And just in case you're wondering, everything that I use for this dress will be linked so you can make your own version if you so choose. I am more than happy to twin with you, my little handmade besties. I just want to say a special shout out to my Patreon subscribers. Without your support, I could not make videos like this, so thank you, thank you, thank you so much for allowing me to do what I love. If you want to see more behind the scenes content or other projects that I don't share over here, consider subscribing to my Patreon, where I have articles, videos, behind the scenes peeks. If that sounds fun to you, that is also linked below. I love you and appreciate you so much for watching, and until next time, stay cozy, stay creative, and stay magical, my loves. Bye.